When will silver spring back? We'll take a look at that chart. Precious metals. How about TOSHI? 20% up. We'll do Bitcoin and crypto. Also be taking a look at Atom as well. Could that be one that might be ready to have a little bit of a whoop whoop, that old chestnut? Plus we'll do every single thing else that we usually do here. You know what? If you're watching this on the replay, yeah, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers. That's Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. But grab a tasty beverage. I've got mine. Have you got yours? Post a message in the comments or somewhere there. What are you drinking right now? We do a synchronized slurp. It's the slurp heard around the world. Whatever you're drinking right now, do it with me. It is the honor system. You must do it audibly. Just do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, extra slurpy for an extra amazing day. I am Joe Main. Joe Main from Melbourne in Australia. I'm going out live on X and on YouTube right now. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. 2,080 something subscribers as of right now. 3,700 and something subscribers on X. Head over to X right now and you watch me do this thing I do every single time because I go live on X at the same time, and all I need to do is I do a quick little copy and paste. Perfect. Look at that. That is golden because we've got so much to talk about on X as well. And did you know that the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full-service cryptocurrency brokerage that you get a 42% discount off their crypto full-service brokerage fees. So not 3.5%, don't pay 3.5%, pay 2% only when you sign up with my link that I'll put somewhere, and then there's the little code down the bottom there. You just pop that in the address bar, sign up, 2% for life of the account. You may hear a little bit more about those wonderful people and everyone else a bit later on. Let's do some shout outs. We've got to do that, then we'll get into the talk of the day. Posh Sloth, it has been a while. Howdy, good to see you. I always see your little comments, your little emoticons, etc. Yes, I get it, Gerald Draper. Good to see you, man. You love Zbeck Network. TOSHI, yes, we'll be talking about that today. We do precious metals stuff first, then we generally do crypto a little bit later on. You're drinking a cherry 7-Up. Wow, a cherry 7-Up. Now, does a 7-Up? I don't think it does. That's not, there's no caffeine in 7-Up. 7-Up is kind of like a Sprite kind of thing, but there's no caffeine in it as far as I'm aware. Cranberry juice. Fair enough, Posh Sloth. Everything all right? How's your health? Nice to meet you, Joe. Yeah, I'm Neil. Oh, really? Neil's Han Dynasty. Never met you before, my friend. Like and share. Yes, please. Hello, says Mr. Happy Stacker. Hello, all. Slurp. And, of course, yes, ZBCN. We'll talk about that. We'll probably do a little bit of that stuff too. Shall we get into it? Yeah. Let's talk about silver. When will it spring back? We're having a little bit of a rise now, but you know, as we've been talking about, why am I getting a phone call? Give me 1 second as I do this live. Ugh. Yeah, hello.
Hello, is that Joe?
Speaking.
Yeah, Joe, it's Andrew, the maintenance person for Bell Real Estate. How you going, mate?
Very well. Is there any chance I could give you a call back just in a little bit? I'm just in the middle of something, if you don't mind. That'd be great. Lovely. Cheers, man. Cheers. Sorry, I had to take that. Taking a live call on the show. Anyway, let's go on X. G'day, Worldly. It's good to see you, my friend. Worldly on X looks like a bit of a TOSHI nut. I would say we will be talking about TOSHI at some point. And you're drinking fruit punch. It's the plumber. It wasn't the plumber. It was not the plumber, but it was a maintenance person. Posh Sloth says, yes. How did I know, Posh Sloth? How did I know? Clearly, I've been in multiple relationships. Let's go back to it. Let's talk about silver. Silver, let's go start that again. Let's talk about silver. Silver is, when will it spring back? When will it spring back? We're having a bit of a rise at the moment. So could this be the spring back? We'll take a quick little look at the price. We'll do gold, precious metals and all that. Then we'll get into Bitcoin and crypto, etc. Let's shah the scran. brah. That's share the screen, bro. Let's go. We don't want to look at TOSHI right now. No, that will be a little bit later. Let's go. Joe, where are you? Let's take a look at silver. What's it done overnight? Okay, here is silver on the 4 hour. We'll take a look on the daily time frame price in USD, $37.87. Yeah, it is currently springing back, but I do still think we are going to, more likely than not, see that move back down. And this is the quickest analysis in the world. This is where I think we spring back from, anywhere between the $35.30 mark and the $34 mark. So a quick little update. We've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC thing playing out. More likely it plays out here if we start crossing up through $38.30. So from this high and, excuse me, you can see my forehead, this high and this low, right where that point is right there. And that's in the zag zone between there and there. If it starts creeping up through there and closing, not spiking, but closing a daily time frame above. So you start closing days above about $38.30 roughly, then that could give good credence to say that we are not ticking over and that we might be heading onwards and upwards. But obviously the big kicker is if you just break $39.50, then obviously that thing is invalid, and then that's just making another higher high, hopefully another higher low, hopefully another higher high and all that. But on balance of probability, it looks more likely that that's going to happen, that we do tick over and do something like that. What would be suggesting that we do that even more? Let's take a look at the relative strength index. Is there anything suggesting that we might? Let me get rid of that for you, and down in here. So this is the daily time frame. On the daily, maybe not the daily, but you can definitely see that why we were all thinking, many of us were thinking, okay, potentially lower prices, because you had that higher high and then you had that equal high on the relative strength index, that or lower high technically, that said that momentum was starting to wane. And generally when you have a larger move down, a consolidation, it happens in a couple of waves. It doesn't just do one and then just shoot back higher. It tends to go one little bit of a relief rally and then back down again. So like an ABC kind of wave. Cool. But on the, let's check the 4 hour. 4 hour, I would suggest, if you can see here, you can see how the price is just kind of, I don't know if you can see it, kind of eyeballing it. It just kind of seems like the momentum is waning now. So on the 4 hour, you've got this little bit of a, it's kind of like it's hovering. It's like when the road runner beats the coyote and the coyote's falling off the cliff. He runs off the cliff and he just hovers there for a second or two and then puts up the help sign. If anyone knows that, that's how old I am. It's that kind of thing where it just kind of hovers for a bit and then I think it goes down. On the 1 hour time frame, bearish divergence on the 1 hour. Okay, so that's when you go, when you zoom into the smaller time frames, then you can see the momentum that's playing out, and then you've got some little higher highs, but then you've got some lower highs. So that's your bearish divergence right there. Might that not play out? Absolutely, but that's just kind of saying, yeah, the momentum's waning around about here and expecting that move down further to that, again, to that $35.30 to $34-ish area. I think we probably more likely find, it's more likely that we do a little like a double bottom, something like here, that kind of thing, and then we bounce off. It's not technically a double bottom, but we find an equal low right there, and we probably bounce off there. Anyway, that is silver. I'm going to quickly show you, out of interest, I'm going to show you silver miners, because they are holding up better than the silver price at the moment. So that's silver, right? Hasn't made a higher high just yet. If I show you SIL, a little bit of a different story. This is SIL, the Silver Miners Index, right? You don't want to buy individual silver miners because you don't want to take that risk, so you buy the SIL. This is on the New York Stock Exchange. Cool. It's making a higher high. Okay, so the silver mining stocks are currently outperforming silver spot. Okay, and if I show you the ratio as well, silver versus silver. Okay, you can see now that's getting into new territory, not new territory, but it's found that exact support. So we had that break of 1.27, we had the move up to the whatever that was, that 0.236 I think Fibonacci, and then resistance has become support, and it's bounced off nicely. And then if I look at on the relative strength index, I think we may have punched through the 618. Yes, we have. So we've also punched through this little area here. So that's looking quite bullish for the silver miners versus the silver price. Now, does that mean you just swap all your metal, your physical metal, and buy silver miners? No. But, you know, there might be a point where you go, I've got more dry powder and I'm kind of open to having some silver stocks. There could be a point there where you could drastically increase your physical silver by first holding some silver mining stocks or the index like the SIL, and then you just ride that to a certain point. And I've got all this stuff. It's like a detective trying to track a serial killer. You know, they've got like the on the wall, the pinboard, right? It's all that stuff. So yeah, you've definitely got some room to move for silver miners to outperform the silver precious metal, the silver metal, and you could increase your physical stack. But you know, I'm playing both. I'm watching that ratio very closely. So follow me if you want to stay updated. So that's the general silver thing. Silver miners looking a little better at the moment. Let's take a look at gold. Here is gold. Here's gold on the daily time frame. US dollars. 3368, currently still above this zag zone right here. So while we're above 3,355, I have to say I'm pretty confident that a new all-time high in gold will be coming pretty soon. Okay, not months and months and months down the track, but could be like mere weeks, you know, several weeks, something like that, and we could see a new all-time high in gold, while again we are above that 3,355. Once we start closing back below there, then I just change my tune like that. So we might be doing something like that where we bounce off there and head onwards and upwards. We might be doing something like this where we go like that and onwards and upwards, or we might be absolutely failing and we do something like that, and then that's bad. Okay, that's bad. You don't want to see that. I don't know exactly, as I've said. I've sort of kind of remaining on the fence. Well, I said, sorry, technically while I'm above 3,355, I actually have to be more than 50% sure that we're going to see higher prices. So yeah, I'll give it a 60-70% chance at this stage we see a new all-time high really soon, okay, in a matter of a short number of weeks. But yeah, just watch out for that kind of thing. Cool, that is gold. The gold miners, if you see where we are here on the gold price, the gold miners, brand new interim, is that an all-time high or an interim high? No. So, okay, we're above my final hurdle. Gold mining stocks looking good versus gold. So similar with silver. If I show you, let me get rid of you. Yeah, you, and you for the moment. And I'll get rid of these couple of brushies. Cool. So I've got that trend line and we don't need you either. You're out of here. Lovely. So from this high and this low, we are now through. I mean, great to see. This is the GDX, okay? So we broke out of the zag zone and now we're actually breaking out of the 0.786 as well. So I'm ultimately confident that a new all-time high in the GDX is coming imminently. Okay, and we're talking maybe a couple of weeks, something like that. So again, gold miners outperforming the gold spot at the moment. So that's looking good for gold miners. And you might be in your individual gold miners, but again, buy the GDX if that's easier for you. Probably is. That is that. Let's take a look at platinum. Platinum on the daily. Once again, we will be getting to Bitcoin and crypto if you have just joined us, and we will be talking about TOSHI as well. Hit the big red subscribe button. Here is platinum on the daily time frame, 1,338. Not a lot to say. It's bounced off the best buy zone, and that's it. That's all I have to say about that, really. Watch out for closing above 1,430. That would give me ultimate confidence. That would be moving way onwards and upwards, you know, from here. And that's, watch out for 1380. Where am I on my brush tool, Joe? Brush tool. watch out for something like that. Okay, if we start closing below 1200, then I'd start getting concerned, but this is good, just normal ups, downs, and that's fine. So watch out for that 1430 close, and then we'll be talking the next leg higher. That is platinum. I will check something like SBSW, which is a platinum miner. Let's see, platinum miner, SBSW. I'm in it, so where is it? There we go. Little bit different. Okay, so this individual platinum miner, which is SBSW, is not making new highs. Okay, so unlike gold miners and silver miners, which are currently outperforming their gold and silver respectively, platinum mining stocks aren't doing it. Okay, interesting. So that might give pause to... no, I'll leave it at that. It's just not outperforming at the moment. That is that, and we'll take a look at copper. Then we'll get to Bitcoin, precious metals, all that sort of stuff. Here is copper on the daily, still hovering around about $4.45. We are extremely undervalued, oversold, undervalued. Okay, that will tick up eventually. How much time we spend down here, I don't know. Do not close below $4.20, and then that's fine. Don't close below there. Okay, do that, not good. Do that. If you find some support here, fantastic. I preferably don't want to cross $4.20, but if you do cross it, you don't want to cross through here. Okay, that's bad. If you cross through that $4 area mark, we'll talk about some lower prices, okay? But we're nowhere near there yet, so what we need to hold and get over and hold over is that rough $5 mark right there. $4.80, $4.90-ish. Cool. That is copper and CopX, which I'm in. What has that done overnight? CopX is the copper miners index, is sitting at 44.27, so we are up at the moment, and I'm currently up on my position. And the good news is we broke back through 43.80, so hopefully this is not a double top, okay, where we've gone like this, and we haven't done that so far. We've broken through there. I just need that to do that, and then we're looking really good for CopX. Cool. That's all the precious metals I want to talk about, I think. Yeah, probably. But of course, if you want to buy precious metals, you want to go to Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, best bullion dealer in all of Australia. 20 or more items in your shopping cart, not 20 of one thing, just mix and match. 20 or more items total, and then you get not instant, they don't send it straight away, you've got to pay for it first, but you get free shipping. Okay, you'll see the free shipping option come up as soon as you have 20 or more items in your shopping cart. Again, it could be a little bit of gold, it could be a bit of silver, it could be 5. This is the thing, and many people ask the question, well, hang on, what if I buy 5 1 kilo silver bars? You're not going to ship that for free. They're not going to ship 5 kilo, because it's very heavy, right? It's 5 kilos. But, however, if you just add 15 more items to the shopping cart, and that could be 15 of the cheapest item on the website, and that could be like 1 10th-ounce silver coins, which are like $8 each, $8.50 each, something like that in Australian dollars, yeah, then they'll ship the whole lot for free. What? The 5 kilos plus those other small amounts that I bought? Yes, because you have 20 or more items in your shopping cart, okay? Most of the time, express delivery, depending on where you live, okay, within Australia, sign-on delivery, fully insured, secure, all that stuff, except you get it for free. perthbullion.com.au. Back to here, do some quick comments, then we'll get into Bitcoin and crypto, TOSHI in particular. You are watching Good Morning Stackers. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013. Nuts to TOSHI. What does that nuts for? Oh, nuts for TOSHI, says Worldly. We'll be getting to your thing very, very quick. Good deal as long as we still have breath in the lungs. Don't know what that's about. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. It's good to see you. Trade gold for silver with the silver pullback. I wouldn't worry about it. Silver done, still contending with more manipulation. Yeah. Now, I absolutely agree with this, Gerald. Silver under $50 is a bargain. It is a screaming bargain, okay? You said that at $16. You said it at $16 that under 20 was a gift, yes. Next, under 100 is unheard of. Yes, get your share of silver as the stable coin time and staking game. Staking now game on. Okay. Sure. Look into stacking kitties. I don't know what we're talking about there. Toshi says Irk. Cool. Let's do that. Let's do some Bitcoin and crypto talk. Let's start with Toshi. We're going to start with Toshi today. Brought to you by Stormrake and Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Let's take a look at my old mate Toshi, and then we'll get to Bitcoin and crypto. We've got a few people waiting for it. Let's see. Yoink. On the daily time frame. Yeah. Brilliant. Here is Toshi on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars, 0.00676 something. Okay, so that good news that we talked about yesterday, I posted an individual video that I posted on the X account, x.com/It's Joe Main. We were right down here on the 4 hour. I'll show you on the 4 hour. Yeah, we were right here, and I said in order to be confident that we might see even higher prices, we've just got to get through this resistance zone right here. Pretty clear resistance zone between like 0.00063 and 0.00065. I said once we do that, then we might be onto the next hurdle, which is that 0.00075. I'll show you that in a second. So we've broken through. Fantastic. It was up 20% when everything else may have been up like 2 or 3%. Something like that. So something's happening with Toshi. Is it the canary in the coal mine that is actually suggesting that, that general crypto is going up? Is this the leading indicator? You never know. Sometimes there's certain cryptos that do that. We'll be taking a look at Atom as well soon after I do Bitcoin and crypto too. But what I'm suspecting now, or what I would like to see, is I need to see a little dip now. I really want to see a little dip. I want resistance to become support. So basically all I want to see is now we're out of there. Fantastic. I need to see this area here become support again. So either bounce off here or bounce into here. So come back to that previous resistance. Resistance then becomes support. Then back out of this area. If you do the following, let me get rid of all of that. If you do the following, game on. If you do the following, come back, test the support, pick a level. Let's just take it to its lowest level. If you do this and cross through there, and technically what I would really love to see is cross through that downtrend line, so just slightly higher. If you do something like that, game on for Toshi. Looking very good, okay? Of course, you've got to watch particular indicators and things like that. Is there a bit of momentum waning and all that? But yeah, you do something like that, cross through that high there and cross through this downtrend line. Chef's kiss, okay? And then we'd be looking at, and let me just show you the Fibonacci from here. Once again, if you don't know what Toshi is the meme coin of Base Chain. Base Chain is owned by Coinbase. Coinbase is run by the CEO, Brian Armstrong. Brian Armstrong has a cat named Toshi. And then some bright spark a couple of years ago now, when Base Chain was first released, created a meme coin called Toshi, and went through a bunch of iterations. You know, do you remember the first contracts? There's been a couple of contracts, hasn't there? Remember those? I was in from the first contract. And then that got changed and it got swapped over and all that. And then it got listed on Coinbase, and that's when it went to ballistic levels. It went to all the way up to here to 0.0025. So it's listed on Coinbase, so the normies can buy it, okay? If crypto season is going to continue, and if every man and his dog, all the normies are getting in and they're using Coinbase, and they're like, oh, I've heard of these meme coin things. What are these meme coin things, okay? Coinbase, Toshi, the meme of Coinbase. Come on. Why wouldn't a bunch of normies pile into it? Okay, so anyway, we're back. We're above there, which is good. Now what I need to see from this high and this low, we are through that zag zone as well, so that's really good. So we're through the 0.618, so that's nice. Great. We just got to get through that downtrend line. Then when we get there, of course, we've been talking about this one. Then you get to your next level from this high and this low. Cool. As we've been talking about, that is that one at the point 00075. That's your big, it's another big kicker right there. What I would expect if we do break through this downtrend line, I'm expecting something like the following to happen, which would be come up through here, break it. It tests resistance here, hopefully breaks, then holds that downtrend line as support. Then you do that. Things will be happening in my pants that you won't be privy to. Cool. That's that. And then you have to go, okay, so if this is breaking through there, then we might be correcting to in the upward direction, the largest move. So let's take a look at the largest move and see where we have to get through for there. Okay, so then you're going back to the all-time high right there, and then taking it to that low. So the big macro high and big macro low. Now, what do you notice? Where have we found some resistance? There's a bit of confluence happening here, right? That's at the 0.236, okay, from that old high and that old low. Gee, you remember that 618 we talked about, that 00075? That's around about there, okay? Look at all of this. This is really interesting. That downtrend line, we just broke through there. Look at that area right there is really key, okay? If you can break through that, do that, you're looking really good, and I would suggest that's going to be taken out. And then, so the major resistance then you're looking at, I'm just blue sky thinking all this. I'm not saying any of this is going to happen, okay? I don't do that 100% stuff. I don't say TOSHI to the moon and all that kind of stuff. I'll leave it to the fanboys for that. That's your job. Because I'm actually, as you know, I'm not in TOSHI. I was, but I'm actually not in it. I'm looking to get back in, and that's going to be the big kicker for me. That 00075 through that decline right there, through the 0.236, all this is conflueting to that area there. Then I am in, man. I am in, quite likely. And then from this high and this low, then you've got a bit of a battle to get through. Then you've got its zag zone, and that's between here and here. So the bottom end, is at 0.001. I kind of imagine that you'd probably sail through there. But yeah, 0.000155 would be the last hurdle, okay? The very last hurdle to get through to say, okay, very confident that a new all-time high would be coming. Okay, so let's do that. Let's break through there. Let's get to there, see if it rejects there. If it doesn't, then let's see if it gets to there. If that doesn't reject, okay, if that doesn't fall on its ass and fall out of there, if it does that, not great. If it does this, all-time high. Sorry, I'm annoying, but I'm getting excited for TOSHI. I'm just getting a little excited. Cool, that's TOSHI, looking great. Just got to get over that 00075 area. That is the absolute key. Cool. That is TOSHI. I want to take a look at something specific. I'm also going to do this morning, as I do every Thursday, I'm going to do my What I Learned This Week segment as well. I'll get to Atom in a second. I need to really quickly check Bitcoin. Okay, got to do the big boys. And of course, if you want to purchase cryptocurrency, I'll do it right now. If you want to purchase crypto, okay, you want to head over to Stormrake, stormrake.com. They are a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. For you crypto natives, you don't need to, because you buy on exchanges and you probably don't want to pay 3.5%. You probably don't even want to pay 2%. So for example, if you go to stormrake.com, it sounds like I'm poo-pooing the company. No, but you're a crypto native, and if you're just doing small amounts, then you probably don't need to worry about Stormrake, stormrake.com, okay? But why might you consider doing it? Well, number one, if as your crypto grows and grows, you're going to need more and more liquidity to get out of the market. So here's something very important. If you become a crypto millionaire, but you're a paper millionaire and you want to sell out, you can't just go to Binance and just go sell all in one go a market thing. You need something like a crypto broker who has access to really good liquidity, okay? And they can get you out in a way that doesn't just tank the price for you, if that makes sense. So actually, if you think that might be you later on down the track as a crypto native, you at least want to sign up for an account. Stormrake.com. They operate in Australia, the US, the UK, New Zealand, other selected countries as well. Okay, now they will charge you a 3.5% brokerage fee to buy and sell or swap crypto. Okay, but they're a full service, they do it all for you. However, that's a really good price. But if you sign up with my link, okay, I'll put a link somewhere, or you type this into the address bar of your favorite browser, that little URL right there. It takes you to the sign up page, and what you'll see is when you click on it, it'll see Good Morning Stackers in the address bar. That means you will get it for 2%, not 3.5% brokerage fee, 2%, a 42% discount on your brokerage fees for the life of the account, for the life of it. Okay, and you're grandfathered in as well when they increase their brokerage fees. You've locked in 2%. Okay, so that's for you as a crypto native to have as much liquidity to get out as possible. Okay, what about your friends and family? They have no crypto. You want to get them into crypto? Just send them to stormrake.com, and they'll just pay 2%. Now, you're already paying like 1 or 2% on Coinbase. I think isn't like Coinbase like 1%, something like that. I think it's sometimes 2% depending on what you're buying. Just go to stormrake.com. Anyway, that's them. They're great. Sign up. Do that. Do it for me. Do it for you. Let's take a look at, here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars, $115,000 exactly. There was a bit of a worry happening yesterday. There's a little bit of a concern on the 15-minute time frame. It doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, but we just need to watch, where was it? Down in here. Okay. There was a little bit of concern that we might start breaking through that $112 thing. If you're a part of Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, you would have noticed ASX Trader, as in David Bird, aka ASX Trader, did a video on there the other day, last night, talking about 112,600. He was getting a little concerned that we might break there. Now, luckily, we've actually broken back above, so that's good news so far. Good news, okay? We're at the higher end. So on the hour time frame, we've nearly we've nearly changed market structure, which is good. We haven't done it yet, okay? So we just need to make a higher high on the 4-hour time frame in order to say, okay, onwards and upwards from here. So far, we've made an equal high at the moment, but higher low, good. We just need to make that higher high, and then we'll be looking a bit better. Cool. On the relative strength index, there's no divergence playing out, which is good. Is there anything on the 1 hour saying the same thing? No. Equal high. It looks pretty convergent at the moment, so nothing definitely saying we're heading lower, nothing definitely saying we're heading higher at this stage. What we need to do is break through. I've shown it to you a billion times before. We need to break through that $119,000 area. That is through its expected resistance zone right there. Get through there, around about $119,000. Then we'll talk new all-time high. Until we're there, can't say that we are. Do not want to break down through that $112,000 area. You don't want to do that. Previous resistance, you want it to remain as support. Excuse me, I know that's very detailed. If you start breaking through there, burp, 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 burp. Okay, let's just get through there. So on balance of probability, I don't know. I'm on 50-50 on the fence. Couldn't tell you. Either way, I don't have a feeling. My gut feeling is I don't know at this stage. Let's clear through 119,000 and not close through 112,000. Cool. That's Bitcoin. General altcoins. Here is others, the altcoin market minus the top 10 on the daily. We'll show you the 4-hour. 4 hours good, not bad. So on the 4-hour time frame, we've made a high there. That's still technically a lower high on the 4-hour, but we've made a higher low. So all we need to do is start making a higher high, and then we'll be back in an uptrend, at least on the 4-hour time frame. Cool. That's it. That's all you need to know. Make a higher high. See what else is happening with RSI, etc. How's the volume? Are we looking? Is there some bearish divergence or anything playing out? But so far, it doesn't look like there will be. Make a higher high. Great, cool, and then we'll talk about higher highs. That's pretty much all you need to know. Yeah, closing above 275 billion would be preferable. Cool, let's just make a higher high. Nothing saying that we're, again, with the altcoin market, nothing telling me 100% definitely going down from here or definitely going up from here. I'm 50-50 at this stage. I am not in any crypto at the moment, and I'm waiting for the signals. A good signal would be rising above 280 billion, start making a higher high. On the daily time frame, I'm waiting. On the 4 hour, I might start taking a trade if we get above that 280 billion. But if I'm playing the daily time frame, then really I should be waiting for that 320 billion. That's where I have my alert. Okay, on the daily, then you'd be making higher highs and higher lows. Cool. So where are we? Higher high. Cool. Higher lows. We just need to make another higher high. Okay. Got a bit of this kind of thing going on though. Yeah. So not in anything at the moment. Not even in TOSHI, as I said. Let's take a look at Atom. Here is one I want to keep you aware of. This was actually posted on the Mastering the Markets Academy, academy.masteringthemarkets.com. Someone posted that just this morning about Atom is in a 180-day consolidation range, and they posted their little chart here. You can't see that because my head is in the way, but I'll show it to you on here on the daily. Apparently it's in a 180-day consolidation range. Yeah, it is. It's in sort of an accumulation pattern. Okay, so if crypto does continue, if crypto gets through the areas we need to, general crypto, you could see Atom be one that outperforms a lot. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of there, that kind of generalish range, 180-day. You must be talking from about there-ish. Okay. Okay, rightio. So there's that, and then you've got roughly kind of there-ish is your main area. And could that be, so yeah, there's a major consolidation range, and you would say it would need to crack above $5 or really $5.30 in order to say definitely moving onwards and upwards. But if we move into the 1 hour, I'm looking for something specific that I can potentially get in a little trade into. It's a little short-term thing here. What I'm looking for on the 1 hour, really on the 4 hour, is I'm looking for it to make a higher high. All right, so we've got that higher low, like we talked about before. I just need it to make a higher high, and not spike above it, but close above. So a close on the 4 hour time frame, preferably. I'd even give it a close on the 1 hour time frame. If we make a higher high, then I'll consider taking a small trade and have a pretty small stop loss. Okay. And the reason why it looks good is have a look at it versus Bitcoin as well. Once again, if your crypto is not outperforming Bitcoin, then why are you in that crypto in the first place? Just buy Bitcoin, okay, if it's not outperforming Bitcoin. We're at a pretty key level for the Atom to Bitcoin ratio right here. So it's around about 3, whatever that number of zeros is, 378 is your kicker, 377. We broke out, but it was a spike. It came to test exact downtrend resistance. So you've got some areas that you need to get through. And I'm going to say it's here. Break out of there at 379, 380. Then I'll talk turkey. But you've just got a bunch of things happening where it's a confluence of resistance, okay? It's a downtrend resistance. It's also from this high and this low. You've got the point, the bottom end of the zag zone, at that 379, 380, its previous resistance right there. Yeah, so it's around about that area there that we're coming to test. Okay, until we break out of there, do something like that ish. Okay, then I wouldn't be getting into Atom. Okay, even if the Atom price, the fiat dollar price, is making a higher high, I've got to see what it does on the Bitcoin pairing. And if it's not breaking out on the Bitcoin pairing, I'm not getting into it. Okay, but we're at an interesting level. Okay, if you can start breaking out of roughly 380 on this ratio number, then I'll really consider it. Cool, that is Atom. And I don't want to talk about ZBCN. I couldn't be bothered. I've got to move on. But ZBCN's looking fine for the moment. Yeah, Yeah. All right, we're going to get into my what I learned section. So that is all of crypto. Now we're going to do my what I learned today. What I learned this week. This is a new segment that I'm doing because, as you guys know, and I'll give the plug for it right now, I am part of the Mastering the Markets 12-month year-long comprehensive course. I'm learning to be a full-on trader. I've been investing in precious metals and crypto since 2010 and 2013, but I've never done a full-on course. I've imbibed a lot of stuff over the years about trend lines and Fibonacci and support and resistance, and I've soaked it all up, but without having a structured course. I decided to start the Mastering the Markets 12-month, 4-unit, 40-week course, okay? And it's been amazing so far. It's been amazing. I'm learning, going back to some basics about support and resistance and this, that, and the other. But now we're starting to get into week 3. We're starting to get into the real kind of little meat of it. What we learned this week, and what I'll be telling you, obviously, is if you want to do a course, highly recommend you go to Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. And you can do their 10-week foundational course, okay? You can do their year-long course, and also you can just join the academy.masteringthemarkets. You can join it for free. You'll see all their freely advertised stuff, and then if you want to pay for the good stuff, the secret sauce, all that stuff down below here, wet your whistle by signing up for a free account, and then I reckon you'll probably go, oh, how much is the monthly? Oh, it's only that much per month. Done. Okay, you don't even have to do a course. Okay, but I highly recommend Mastering the Markets. Anyway, what I'm going to share with you is basically I share the basics of what I learned in the week. Now I don't go through it in depth. Okay, let me get out of something, go into here. I just want a blank page. I will not obviously. Let me go back to here. I don't teach the course, okay? This is a way for me to synthesize what I've learned this week. And if I can teach, or just at least if I can teach the very basics without going to how it works with this and how it confluences, how it works with and how I put it all together, if I can just teach the very basics, it means that I'm learning it, okay? I'm getting it in my head. So here's what I learned this week. We learned about reversal patterns, okay? So basically there's 3 main patterns. Now you've heard of these terms probably before, but what do they mean? Of course, the first one is a double top or a double bottom on the price. Okay, so for example, it's pretty simple if I do with this. Now I'm learning as I go, so I may even screw this up as I'm doing it, but this is my way to test myself right now. Here's an example of a double top and a double bottom. Okay, it's a reversal pattern. So price go up. This is the pretty easy one that most people realize, right? It's the M pattern. Okay, price goes up. It makes a high, comes back down, great, it's making a high or low, fantastic. And then it doesn't break, okay? It doesn't make a high, it makes an equal high. And then it breaks back down through that area right there. So you're like, and that's the area which you'd be like, oh, that's the reversal pattern confirmed around about there. Now that would be on the close of something, not on the spike, depending on the time frame you're in. So if we're on the 1 hour time frame right now, if you started closing the hour below there, that would be your time to get out and then see what the price does. Okay, could it come down to here and then come back up? Sure, you can just get back in, but that's a reversal pattern. Okay, now a reversal pattern can go in the upward direction as well. That's a double bottom. Same thing, right? Price has been going down. It's been in a downtrend. It's been making, you could say it's been making successive, lower highs. Let me do that again. It could be going like this, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then it does something like this. Or you're like, oh, okay, it didn't make a lower low again. What's going on there? Okay, and now we've broken through, and now we've changed market structure. Now we're making higher highs. Okay, so that would be similar like that. That's just in the reverse area. So that is a double bottom. Makes a double bottom and then breaks through. Okay, that's your double bottom. That's that. The next 2 are more complicated to explain, and I'm doing my best to try and explain it to you. If I can explain it to you, then I can understand it myself. The next one is called a failure swing reversal pattern. Okay, again, I'm not going to show you the in-depth. I'm not going to show you examples and all that kind of stuff. Cool. This is where you might be, price is making higher highs, higher lows. Great, fantastic. It's doing its thing. Fantastic. Then it makes a higher high, a higher low. Fantastic. But then it does, I'll do this a little bit better, so a little bit larger so you can see it. So higher highs, higher lows. Good news. Fantastic. Great. It's moving up again. Fantastic. Oh, hang on. So we failed to make. It's a failure. And so it's failed. It's called a failure swing. It's failed to make a higher high. So it's failed to continue the trend. Okay, so now we're making a lower high. So the question becomes, whoa, hang on. We've been selling higher for a while. Why aren't we selling higher now? That's weird. And then if it does that and it crosses through there, closes, not just breaks, but closes, say on the time frame you're on, that would be your time. That's the reversal pattern. That would be the time to get out. Okay, right there when you close below there. That's the failure swing pattern. Okay, there's that one. And then in the opposite direction, right? Lower highs, lower lows. Right, it does something. It's making a lower high, lower low. Oh, hang on. What's going on? It's failed to make a lower low. It's failed to continue the trend. It's making a higher low. It's broken through there. Now it's making a higher high. Don't forget, whenever you break that level right there, wherever it stops, if it stops there or if it stops up there, it's a higher high now. That's a change of market structure. So that would be a reversal, and that where you would consider buying right there. Okay, now there's a couple of things you can do. Obviously, you could take the risk and you could buy it here on that break on a close, right? And then you could take the risk that it falls back through. It could, all right? It could do that, okay? That can easily happen, okay? It's not a foolproof thing, right? So you can take the risk there, or what you could do is if you wanted, you could wait for that and you could take the retest. You're taking a gamble no matter what you do. That could just fall through, but if that's falling back through there, you'd have to wonder why is it falling back through. So you'd probably just take a really quick stop loss, and then you just lose that tiny amount. Okay, so they're not foolproof patterns. That's your failure swing. Now here's the one that really it's still hard for me to get my mind around. Sometimes it's called the non-failure swing. Okay, I'll do my best to show you this one. Okay, so again, higher highs, high lows. The price is in an uptrend, so this is a reversal, right? Then we do this. Let me go higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low first. So now it's making a lower low. Then it does that, and then if it does that, that is your get out time. So what you'll notice, the main difference, it's called a non-failure swing. So it didn't fail. Don't worry about the terminology, just look at the pattern. It didn't fail to break the trend. Okay, instead it made a lower low first. Okay, so basically you can see the difference is, you see the difference between the peak, right? So there's your peak right there. There is your peak right there. What's the thing that you notice? Here it made a higher low first, and here it made a lower low first. Okay, that's really all you need to know. If it does something like that and then rejects here, okay, there's your neckline, it rejects there, it rejects a little bit higher, and then if it breaks that, that is your get out point. And the non-failure swings are the more reliable reversal patterns. They're the most reliable reversal patterns, okay? And similarly, we'll just do a little larger, prices going down, lower highs, lower lows, pick an amount of time that it's going down for, and then it does that, and then that, and then that. That is a very reliable reversal pattern. So you would probably want to be taking at least a small position there. You might put your stop loss there. You just, you have to take the loss if you take the loss. Or what you can do is you can wait for the retest and then get your retest there. Have a very small stop loss. If it gets back into that area, you've got to wonder why aren't they buying here? And then that's your reversal pattern. Cool, so those are the three main reversal patterns: double tops, double bottoms, failure swings in the downward or upward direction, and non-failure swings in the downward or upward direction. That's it. That's what I learned this week, and it is still warping my mind. If it's warped your mind, well, you need to learn probably more about it, and can I just highly recommend you do go to Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. They are so amazing. Okay, sign up for their 10-week course. All right, 10 weeks, 1 unit, 10 weeks. Learn Dow theory principles and technical analysis foundations. Or you want to be a big boy like me, sign up for the year-long comprehensive course. You can do this from somewhere else in the world as well, okay, because it's all online, right? And it's amazing. Or at least head over to Mastering the Markets Academy, academy.masteringthemarkets.com. Sign up for the free account, imbibe their stuff, and then wet your whistle, and you might want to learn more. That's it. That's what I learned this week. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about unless we have some specific stuff that we have to get through. Cool. Let's get through some final comments. I'll see if I have any particular chart requests. I've got a little bit of time, but I might just go through these comments here. I think we'll just do comments now. Worldly says, loving the analysis. Well, thank you very much, Worldly. I appreciate that. The face of base. Atoms Energy, ATO. Might not have time today. Jason Ashworth. God, I love you, Jason. Still don't understand what causes meme coins to move up, other than some influencer being paid some money to say, hey, buy this coin, then peeps buy it and whales take the profits. Jason. Price goes up because of price go up. Why does silver go up? It's all psychology. Now, you could argue, now there is the supply and demand, there is the industrial uses of silver, so that is a special case. Why does Microsoft go up? Yeah, they make things, they build things, sure. Why does Bitcoin go up? It doesn't do a lot. I mean, yeah, there's cross payments and all that kind of stuff, I get it, but it's all psychology. Everything's psychology. That's it. It's all psychology. Meme coins are absolutely no difference. There's nothing backing them in terms of some meme coins can have some utility. Everything goes up and down according to psychology. That is it. Now the reason why meme coins can have huge gains or huge losses is because, again, it's psychology. There's nothing backing it, but it's psychology. You don't understand what causes meme coins to move up. It's psychology. And it's not just that some influencer is being paid some money to say, hey, buy this coin. That doesn't have to happen for a meme coin to go up. It can be a general zeitgeist thing. Look at Dogecoin. Okay? Dogecoin, the absolute first meme coin. The first one. What does that do? Okay? Now, over the years, people might accept it for payment. Elon Musk talks about it and all that kind of stuff. But it's a zeitgeist. It's a general. I don't know how to explain it other than psychology. But it doesn't need shillers. It doesn't need influencers to say buy Doge. Everyone, it's Doge, man. Let's see. Silveruga says, I'm a crypto retard. So I would go through Stormrake. I would absolutely go through Stormrake and do it through my thing because it's 2%. Come on. Let's see. Knowledge is power. Power is power. Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you on the channel. Morning all. Knackers. I haven't seen you for ages. Good to see you, Knackers. Let's see. Do we see a pump with the Binance listing for TOSHI? I don't think it'll be a big deal. It's been listed on Coinbase. I don't see a big deal. Going to read to the kiddo. Good on you, Posh. Let's see. Jason does prefer a firm double bottom. And the last comment from Gerald is injection of value from other sources. Yeah, injection of value from other sources is how Bitcoin goes up. Someone once said that Bitcoin could never absorb the value of gold. What little some understand. Zebek is doing okay. Okay, fine. Fine. Let me quickly check Zebek. Zebek Network. You guys. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. All right. All right, screw you guys. Here is ZBEC Network on the daily time frame price in USD 00588. Okay, yeah, it's doing really well. Cool. So it's kind of having like a TOSHI kind of esque kind of moment. When I don't talk about it, it pumps. Yeah, so now we're through. That looks good. We're through the zag zone. Sorry, this is very detailed. It's through the zag zone. We're back through the zag zone again. Okay, new all-time high in ZBEC Network is coming imminently. That's all I have to say about that based on the price and where it's through here. But if I just quickly look at the relative strength index, gotta be careful. No, not necessarily. Okay, remember what I said back here? Now, this might not happen, by the way. We could, on balance of probability, most likely seeing a new all-time high in ZBEC Network. So it'll probably break through that 0.007 area because we're back through here. That's good. However, just watch out for a bearish divergence. Remember when we talked here, I said, hey guys, did you take profits on ZBCN? Did you take profits when we had a higher high and a lower high on the relative strength index? Bearish divergence. Then I said, did you take profits when we had an equal high and a lower high on the relative strength index? Bearish divergence. Then we saw the bearish move. Cool. Just watch out here. I'm not saying it's happening. Okay. But just chill for a minute. We haven't pivoted. But you can make a higher high. Just watch out. If you don't make a higher high or you make an equal or lower high on the relative strength index, bearish divergence. So just bear in mind that. I would say though, if you can make a higher high on the daily time frame, while the price is making a higher high, brilliant. Good. Just watch out for that bearish divergence there. On the 1 hour time frame, do we notice any divergence playing out? Excuse me. There is some potentially playing out right there. So just watch out for that. Higher high. Higher high. I didn't. It's a higher high. Look at it. Higher high. Lower high relative strength index. Just watch out. Okay, on the 4 hour. The 4 hour, you're actually pretty good. All right. And on here, yeah, you also have some potential bearish from previous pivots. Okay, so you could pivot. Oh, well, as I did that before, you could pivot higher here and then pivot lower here, and that wouldn't be good either. So just be careful around here. Good, but it's great to see it moving in the onwards and upwards direction. Final comments, then we shall get out of here. Cool, cool. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you get pre-recorded content on YouTube and X as well. So I talk about precious metals, I talk about crypto, etc. I'm very crypto focused on the X channel, and I'm very sort of precious metals focused on the YouTube channel because for some reason when I do crypto related stuff on YouTube, it basically gets no views. I do precious metals related stuff and it does really, really well. And the opposite on X because X is very, crypto focused. Cool. Yeah, final comments. Joe finally broke. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Hey, gang, let me check one thing. While you're here, let me check one thing. Oh, yeah, okay, so the stock market is opened and we are up. Oh, okay. Yep, cool. Oh, hello. Okay. Yep, good. Anything I want to talk about? Uranium stocks doing well. Silver stocks are opened. And what's down? Nothing's majorly down. Okay, my portfolio's up. Okay, that's all I needed to say. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do the final synchronized slurp. Let's dance it out as well because you have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays and all the other in-between stuff I do on the YouTube channel and the X account. Finally, we do a synchronized slurp. Some of you you miss it in the beginning because you find the live stream a little bit in between. We do a synchronized slurp here at Good Morning Stackers. What it is I grab my tasty beverage, you grab your tasty beverage, and we slurp our beverages, whatever they are, synchronously together. It is the slurp heard around the world, and at the end of the show, we dance it out at the same time. Come on, man. What else could you hope for? Because, ladies and gentlemen, is my thing on mute? It is now. You have watched.
Good morning, Stack. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do that.
Synchronize.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now we're on the move.
Good session, dudes. Really good. Stay safe, stay informed. Keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and you'll see more of me next time. Bye.